They heard a deafening blast, the kind of explosion no one survives. The world's biggest passenger jet, Qantas Flight 32, should have fallen from the sky. But what happened next became one of aviation's most unbelievable escapes. On November 4th, 2010, Qantas Flight 32 took off from Singapore, headed for Sydney. The aircraft, the Airbus A380, the largest, safest, most technologically advanced passenger jet in the world. It had never suffered a catastrophic crash. On board were 469 people, including an exceptionally experienced crew led by Captain Richard de Crespigny. Nothing about this flight suggested danger until 4 minutes after takeoff. Without warning, the second engine exploded. Not a small malfunction. A full engine disintegration. Shrapnel shot out like bullets, ripping through the wing and slicing into fuel lines, hydraulics, wires, and aircraft systems. Instantly, 21 major systems failed, and the crew was flooded with over 100 cockpit warnings at once. Passengers saw holes in the wing. The aircraft began shaking violently, and the pilots didn't even know if the wing would stay attached. The A380's cockpit lit up like a Christmas tree of disasters. Hydraulic pressure dropped. Fuel started leaking out of the wing. Electrical control systems failed. The autopilot disconnected. Engine readings became unreliable. Each warning required a step, and they were receiving them faster than humans could read. But this cockpit wasn't full of panic-only determination. Captain de Crespigny remained calm. He assigned roles, controlled communication, and focused the team. Instead of reacting emotionally, they prioritized survival. Their teamwork under pressure would later be called a masterclass in airmanship. But the aircraft was in terrible shape. They were too heavy to land. The landing gear was damaged. Engine 1 wouldn't shut down. Engine 4 wouldn't respond normally. Hydraulic systems were unreliable, and any attempt to slow down could break the wing. This wasn't just a damaged plane. It was an A380 flying in a condition its designers believed impossible. They returned to Singapore. Approach speed dangerously high. Weight 50 tons above the limit. The pilots knew the landing gear might collapse on touchdown. As they descended, no one spoke in the cabin. They hit the runway, hard brakes struggling, reverse thrust unreliable, but the aircraft slowed and finally stopped. Not safely, not smoothly, but alive. Even after stopping, danger wasn't over. Fuel was still leaking. The engines wouldn't shut down. A single spark could turn the plane into a fireball. For nearly an hour, passengers were trapped on board as the crew fought to secure the aircraft. It was the longest hour of their lives. Finally, evacuation began. No fire, no collapse, and unbelievably, not a single person died. Not one serious injury. A flight that, by every measure, should have ended in a catastrophic crash became one of the greatest saves in aviation history. Qantas Flight 32 didn't become famous like Miracle on the Hudson, but experts still call it one of the most extraordinary survivals ever recorded. A destroyed engine, a crippled aircraft, 469 lives, saved by calm leadership, teamwork, and refusing to give up when everything seemed lost.